Okay, so we're gonna do things a little bit different this vlog here because it's been a really busy week for J. Crew work. 5:25 a.m. right now here at the one and only Carlsbad Forum. Coming to work super early this morning. Donuts from Carlos. This is wonderful. Usually what happens in my life is there's kind of like this nice balance of the 3 different jobs that I have, but this week it was overwhelmingly J. Crew because I worked about 40 hours this week. Still getting over my sickness. I've probably consumed about 3.5 of these bottles in the past 3 weeks. I did a lot of chores around the house. I thought I would take this vlog here and do a Q&A part 2 because I tried to film this like a while ago and never got finished. So this is the official part 2 of the Q&A video right here in this vlog right now. So like a year ago in the vlogs, I asked you guys to ask me questions about anything you wanted to know, and I just kind of took those questions and kind of went through them. So the first question having to do with UCSD is, how is the music program over at UCSD? So I think my opinion is very different from someone who is actually a music major because I only minored in music, and that makes a huge difference in the courses you take and everything. It was a lot of just kind of going over the history of music, and you kind of got to pick and choose whatever you wanted to do. But there was no actual performance component of it, which differs a lot from when you actually go to a school to study music. It was very similar to UCSD's kind of way of teaching people because it's very research based. The school is that way overall. So I felt like the music program was kind of that way also. So while it does help me in what I do now, I think that if you're trying to do performing at UCSD, you're probably better off doing something else or going elsewhere because there was none of that for me. Question number 2 is, what other channels do I watch? The YouTubers that I watch that I find myself continually going back to watch over and over, in no particular order, Jack Scapp, Ben Brown, Casey Neistat, probably John and Hank from the Vlog Brothers. The Shaytards are a huge reason as to why I even started this vlog in the first place, is I was hugely, or is that a word, hugely? Very influenced by the Shaytards. Oh, Marquez Brownlee makes really good tech videos. Those right there are probably my overall favorites. Question number 3. What would you do differently if you were to start college all over again? And what were some of the things that you were involved in at school? This is a really deep one here. So I would maybe take school a little bit less seriously. That's like a really odd answer because you're going to school to learn and learn stuff, but I think I focus so much on just trying to get a really great GPA. I don't know if like in the long run this will play out differently, but so far in my life right now, the academics have not mattered nearly as much as I thought they would have. Oh, and the things that I was involved in, I did Circle K for a year. That's basically like the grown-up version of high school's Key Club. And then besides that, I was in Marshall TV, which is UCSD's kind of television production for Marshall College, which is one of the 6 colleges within UCSD. One of my goals through college was just to try new things, even if they were not going to go anywhere, just to like put myself out there. Like we tried the ballroom dancing team at UCSD. I went to REMAC a bunch of times, went to like the Spirit Nights, did the Undie Run, hung out with neighbors a lot. I did enough stuff of just kind of trying things out. And I think that when it comes to that side of college, I'm really satisfied with the way things played out for me. So the next 2 questions are very related, so I'm going to lump them into one. Basically, what has life been like after college? For me, my experience has been very different from most of my peers in that I never got a full-time job. I have 3 little jobs that amount to most of my time in life now. So while I'm doing work, I have to continually go out and find new work at the same time. And that's kind of been my experience, is just kind of constantly hustling while you're doing one thing to be ready for the next thing that's coming down the road. When I'm doing work, I'm thinking about the next work. And when I'm doing that work, I'm thinking about the other 2 jobs that I do. And while I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming about work. Next question. What is your favorite memory with your family? And this is completely random, but this is the first thing that popped into my mind, so I'm going to talk about this one. My dad used to take me to this place called Mulligan's when I was young, and I don't know why, but it was just like, Mulligan's, if you don't know, it's basically Chuck E. Cheese, but I would say it's more for like older kids. It would be like just a random Saturday afternoon, and my dad would take me to Mulligan's, and the 2 of us would just play video games together. And I just randomly thought of, there used to be this arcade game that it was like alligators would come out of their little slots, and the goal of the game is that every time an alligator poked its head out, you had to smack it. My dad and I would tag team work on this game together. That to me, of like spending random afternoons at Mulligan's when you're like 7 years old with your dad, that to me is probably my favorite memory from childhood with my family. Next question has to do with, basically, if you're a foreign exchange student coming to UCSD, what's the cost compared to actually living in California, going to school at UCSD? And I don't know too much about this, but I do know that if you're not from California and you want to go to a California school, it is vastly more expensive, just absolute bonkers in terms of cost. And that's true for all of the different states. Like if I tried to go to a school somewhere else that was not in California, I would be paying close to double the amount of an in-state student. Go to this and they'll probably have more info on this topic, because I don't know anything about it. Okay, that's all of the questions that I have here. I hope you guys found this somewhat informative or interesting to watch. My question of the week for you guys is, are there any other questions that you have, not just about me, but maybe about YouTube or being a vlogger, school, UCSD, whatever it happens to be? Do you have any questions? And if so, please either leave them in the comments below. You can direct message me, tweet me right here, and I'll make a new video in the future to address new questions. Go. No, Amy, I got it. I got it bring back. Oh, yeah.
I bet you he's trying real alcohol.
Yeah, it is real. He does it ever clear too. Watch. Addie.